Welcome to question 3 of the 2009 Mathematical Methods Exam 1. In this video we will be looking at the solution and examination advice for this question. A reminder that this video is in no way endorsed by VCAA. So we have the function f with a domain of reals excluding 0, where f of x equals 3 divided by x subtract 4, and we are asked to find the inverse function of f. So we need to recall that a function is defined by two things. Firstly, a rule and a domain. So to start off with this question, I'm going to graph the function f very quickly. So the function f will have an asymptote along here, and that's at x equals 0, and another asymptote here at y equals -4. And that's because of this translation 4 units down. So f is a hyperbola, so it will have the following shape. So as we can see, f is a one-to-one function, so the inverse function will exist, and we can now work out what the domain and range of the function f and the inverse function are. So the domain of the original function was reals excluding the set of 0, and it has a range of reals excluding the set of -4. And for an inverse function, the domain and range simply swap, giving the domain as reals excluding -4, and the range as reals excluding the set of 0. So the first thing we're going to do is just let y equal the function f of x. So therefore we find that y is equal to 3 divided by x subtract 4. The second thing we have to do is swap x and y to find the inverse. Therefore the inverse function is x equals 3 divided by y subtract 4. Then the next thing we need to do is solve for y. So to do that we can start by adding 4 to both sides. Therefore we find that x plus 4 is equal to 3 divided by y. And now multiplying both sides by y, we get y times x plus 4 is equal to 3. And now we're almost at the stage where we have y by itself. And as part of step 4, we're also going to use the correct notation. So we can say that the inverse function is such that reals excluding -4 maps to the real number system, where f -1 of x is equal to, and dividing both sides of the equation above by x plus 4 would give y by itself, so f inverse of x would equal 3 divided by x plus 4. So that is the rule and domain for the inverse function of f, which we were asked to find in this question. So from the examiner's report we can see that nearly 40% of students got full marks for this, and another 44% of students received 2 marks for that question, so overall it was quite well done. But few students realised that a rule and a domain were required for the inverse function. The definition of f should have provided students with a clue, so if you're ever asked to define an inverse function, it must have a rule and a domain associated with it.